Hi guys, it's M here. Now today we're going to look at a guy called Simon Parkes. Simon Parkes, he has gone viral at the moment. He is connected to the CIA, the NSA, MI5, MI6, Freemasons, and he's even claiming that he routinely gets abducted and has done all his life by aliens. And some of these aliens, the feline, the cat-like aliens, and he is a cat enthusiast, the cat-like aliens he made love to and had children with. Whilst I was gathering sort of information on Simon Parkes and looking into some of the videos he's done, videos with Charlie Ward, some of the claims he's made, I come across a video from a guy called High Impact Flicks.
But look, it's got 329,122 views. I'm going to go ahead and refresh this. Watch this. And the number jumps to, hold on a second, 1.4 million views, and it's only been up for, I think, like 9 hours. This one that he uploaded a day ago, it's like 27 hours ago, 27 hours ago. It's got 3 million views. 3 million views. Who is this Simon Parkes? He's got 504,000 subscribers now.
Like and subscribe to him, and if you want to go one step further, go in his comments and just say M sent me, just so we can show our appreciation for the use of his content and research. So who is Simon Parkes? Well, recently he's been talking as a QAnon insider, and he's saying that he has spoken directly to someone that is Q, basically, or is working with Q, working with Trump. And, you know, it's similar to Charlie Ward. Why on earth they think it's believable that all this stuff coming out from Q, all this information would be given to two, shall I say, elder British guys to disseminate that information. I have no idea why people believe that would be the case. So this Simon Parkes has been saying making some big claims along with Charlie Ward. And I believe in this video we will show you them discrediting themselves with some of the claims that they're making. But, you know, people are seeing this guy, very well-spoken English guy, along with Charlie Ward, who is also a well-spoken English guy. And, Charlie's got his nice shirt, Simon's wearing his nice sweater, and people are suspending their critical analysis of the information just because, well, they seem like honest guys. Well, who is Simon Parkes? Well, a lot of people that are subscribing and listening to what he's saying are probably not aware of this. But Simon has been in the mainstream media before, and this is due to his claims that he was abducted by aliens, has an alien adopted mother, has had alien children with them. He gets abducted. He says on the video that he was abducted twice a month, I think it was, and recently he said once a year, so he's contradicted himself there. Let's have a little look at Simon Parkes and what he was known for before he started talking about Q.
And this information is being provided to Amash by abductees from all corners of the UK. Whitby, in northeast England. An important council meeting is in progress.
And one of the things that we were really hoping to do would be to see if Scarborough Borough Council would transfer the cemetery to us.
It's chaired by 53-year-old Simon Parkes, who's been the local Labour councillor there since last year. He also works as a driving instructor.
Follow the road round, bears round to the right. He'll wait for you, he's seen you. He'll wait for you as well, that's fine. And you go.
But when he does have some time off, he likes to go to his attic where he keeps a very special family album.
This is the alien being that I call Mum. Now, it clearly isn't my mother because I'm human, but in my mind, it got me to be convinced that it was my mother. If you can imagine, this alien being has adopted me, and so I refer to it as Mum.
So how often do you see your mum?
Oh, I would say probably once a month, twice a month, depending. And what will happen is that we will hold hands, and I'll say I'm ready, and then the technology that I do not understand, then you are just taken and you go up, straight up to a craft orbiting the Earth.
But having an alien mum isn't Simon's only close encounter.
That is the being that I claim to have sexual relations with. So I don't have a name. All I refer to her as is the cat queen.
So you have sex with her?
Yes.
How often?
I don't remember all of it. Probably 4 times a year, something like that.
So do you have any alien children?
You're looking at one here. This is the name, Zaka.
So that's your child?
Well, yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? But there you go.
Simon's encounters with his alien lover have caused problems with his Earth wife, who has asked not to be filmed.
My wife, found out about it and was very unhappy, clearly. That caused a few problems.
What, was she jealous?
Yes. But it's not on a human level, so I don't see it as wrong.
What do you say to some people that might say, oh, you're mad?
Yeah, I'd say I can understand how you would say that, because you've not seen anything yourself, and that's your immediate fallback position. But you come and spend some time with me, you follow me around for a day, and you'll actually walk away shaking your head, because you'll think, well, he's actually not mad.
Many of the people who say they are abducted every year find it very distressing.
It's the jumping that gets him all interested.
Simon has no problem with being taken. Twice a month, it's another chance for him to meet his alien family.
It's an incredible little feeling of being literally sucked out. So if you imagine a big industrial vacuum cleaner being stuck on your chest and being pulled up, and there's a rushing sensation, and then the next thing I'm aware of is I'm in another room.
And what, do you go up there, do you think?
Well, it doesn't. You don't go necessarily that way. Normally it's at an angle, like 45 degrees. Occasionally I felt as if I've been floated out of the room. But in most instances, when they're under pressure and they've got to get you out very quickly before they're intercepted or detected, you're taken very, very quickly.
So you went out that way?
Yes, that way.
Through the window?
Yep.
This window?
Yep.
And there's a blind as well, Simon.
I don't think the blind would cause them any aggravation whatsoever.
They are pretty sophisticated.
Incredibly so. Incredibly so.
Really?
The seaside town of Whitby. Labour councillor Simon Parkes is being interviewed by a journalist from a local paper.
Why do you think it's important that people get involved in local politics?
Because councils are elected, individuals are elected to represent the views of the people now. I think so.
A year ago, the Whitby Gazette ran an interview with Simon, talking about his alien mum.
I've spoken to you, you seem quite compos mentis. I was quite shocked that somebody of your standing would say something like that.
I would just say that there are plenty of people in my position who don't choose to come out and say it because they're terrified that it will destroy their careers.
Being open in public hasn't destroyed Simon's career, but he believes it's brought him to the attention of the Secret Service.
There's an Audi behind us, and it has been following us all the time, off and on. So would you just turn your camera around and film him for me out the back window? Because that'll really...
film through the window?
Yeah, as long as you get the index for that vehicle, and just make it obvious that we're filming them.
Why would they be following you?
Well, maybe they just have an interest. And what we're going to do is we're just going to lose it. Like this. This is the sort of thing that happens in my life, but it's just the way it is.
Do you get that a lot, Simon?
A great deal, a great deal. We call it cat and mouse, cat and mouse.
Simon's on his way through a village that a few months ago, he says, became the scene of one of his abductions whilst with a friend.
Do you think it happened right here?
Oh, absolutely, yes, just here, where this track goes off to the farm. We both agree, both myself and the passenger agree, that we were physically taken from the motor vehicle. We can definitely remember being lifted out of the vehicle. Now, I have no idea how they did that.
So where did the vehicle go?
That's the question, isn't it? How on earth, A, where did the vehicle go? B, how were we put back into a moving vehicle? This is the technology that is just completely stumps us.
This is like evidence.
Absolutely. It's where I can actually stand physically look and say, not only did I experience this, but somebody in the car also experienced it with me.
And can I meet her?
You can, but I don't think that she'll actually want you to film her.
Despite having a witness to corroborate his abduction, there is still no scientific proof aliens are visiting Earth.
Hello Anne, Simon here.
Simon Parks is so convinced his stories are real, he came out as an abductee to the press.
This particular woman.
As a Labour Town councillor, he's constantly busy sorting out important local issues.
They wanted to sell the shed.
And at home, he's kept on his toes by his 9 cats.
Stop fighting. It's brother and sister, you see. They are always at each other's throats. It's very naughty and don't allow it. Cats are a matriarchal society.
Are aliens matriarchal?
Some of them are. Just some of them are.
What about your aliens?
Male.
Male.
Male dominated, very, very clearly.
But he does find some time to go into town for some essential supplies.
So that's a good one. I'm going to have that one. These are nice, big, thick colouring crayons, which are just ideal. I know they're for kids, but they're actually absolutely ideal. So we're going to have those as well.
Are you talking about for your mum? What
Yep.
green does your mum have?
That sort of colour. That's a really good colour.
Simon spends hours drawing his experiences. He finds it helps him come to terms with them.
Why do you call it mum?
Because when I was a very small child, the very first recollection I have was being lifted out of my cot. The only thing I can remember after that is it saying to me, you will never be hurt, you will never be harmed.
Does your alien mum protect you in any way?
I think I'm fairly clear in my head that I'm monitored very closely. And if there is anything that seriously is about to happen or does happen, then I'm fairly, confirmed in my own mind that they will intervene. They have intervened in the past.
Simon says when he was a small boy, he had a terrible accident that normally would have been fatal.
According to what the doctor had said, and the doctor's the professional, the doctor was basically saying you should have been in hospital, your spine was snapped in half. I'd fallen down, 8 foot or so of concrete channeling, done myself quite a nasty mischief. How on earth did I get out of that channel unaided? I have no memory of that at all. Somebody helped me. I'm quite pleased that I've got a guardian angel looking over me.
So without your alien mum, you'd be dead.
Probably, yes.
Simon is very close to what he calls his alien family, consisting of a mistress, children, and an alien mum. But today he's looking at his human family album.
That's me as a very young child.
He never knew his father, and he was brought up in Brighton by his mother, who was an alcoholic.
But it must have been really hard for you growing up with an alcoholic.
Yes, of course it was. It was very difficult. I'm sure she loved me in her own way, but when we would have meals, we would never eat together. In the 18 years that we'd been together, before she obviously died, I probably sat and ate food with her 3 times.
If I was to ask you who was a better parent?
One was providing emotional support and learning support. That would be the alien one. And the other one was providing me clothes, food, warmth. So there were 2 sides of a coin.
So combined, your 2 mothers, as it were,
Yeah.
made up to be the sort of the mother you wanted or needed.
I certainly think that what was happening was that a role was being taken by one and a role was being taken by another.
Can I throw a crazy theory at you?
Yeah, you can.
An unhappy, unloved child makes up an imaginary world.
If I was going to make something up, I can assure you I'd make up something much happier, much more fun, less dark, and far more grounded in this world than this.
You mean like claiming to be an insider in the QAnon movement? Now, I don't know if it's just me, but this Simon Parks looks like that crazy cat lady off of The Simpsons, except a male version.
But can anyone who loves animals that much really be crazy?
It looks like he has 100 cats around his house. Not only that, he's claiming that he's made love and had children with cat-like alien beings.
You want to see how much he's increased in his subscriber count and how popular this guy is and how the floodgates of, I don't know, the YouTube gods have shined on this guy? Watch this. This is his Social Blade account for Simon Parks. It says he has 491,000. We know from his actual YouTube channel that he now has 504,000. But I want to show you this. He went from, look at his stats right here. In all the month of November of October 2018, only 129,000 in the entire month. Now, all of a sudden, in November, 640,000 views. In the month of December, 3.1 million views. And now, just this month, just in the last 2 weeks, 8.5 million views just in the last 2 weeks. Just in the last 2 weeks. Let me show you. These stats are staggering, guys. If you keep up with YouTube stats, these are staggering stats. Sunday, 115,000. He gained 115,000 subscribers, and now he's up to 106. And add, let's see, you got to add about 10,000 more to that. So he's up to 116,000 subscribers just today. Look, just today alone in views, 3.1 million. That's off the charts, guys. It's off the charts. My question is, why is YouTube allowing the content of Simon Parks, who we know YouTube has kicked people off for saying just minor stuff? Simon Parks is making major claims. The Pope got arrested, he says. Donald Trump signed the Insurrection Act. Trump's going to still be president for the next 4 years, he says. The videos are taken down for combating the results of the election. And yet he's doing it all over the place, and he's still up. And he's given the green light by YouTube. Why? Why is that? People are eating this up like kids eat Halloween candy. Can't get enough of it. Look at the crazy stellar like to dislike rating. 8,682 likes to 285 downvotes. People love this stuff, but I want to show you something that's curious. Why isn't Simon Parks, it says the owner, can you see this right here? I'm going to expand it for you a little bit. It says the owner has disabled comments in this video. Why? He's basically suspended free speech. Can he do that? Of course he is. He's free to do that. But my question is, why did he do it?
This is not the only time we've seen this, guys. We also saw it with Greg Hallett, the AKA the fake king. You know, when people started asking the tough questions and calling them out, suddenly the comments were turned off. And same thing with Charlie Ward as well. If you look at all of his content now, all of the comments are turned off. Now that just basically leaves them impervious to any kind of free speech over their platforms. No one is seeing anyone talking about how dodgy this whole thing is. No one is trying to show people how concerning and suspect these guys look. So people are just eating it up, and they're not seeing anything to tell them to flag to them not to.
And I'm going to go to BitChute, and we're going to go to top trending. Here's the trending, and look who it is on the top, 195,000. Look, there's is that Charlie Ward again? Dr. Charlie Ward in number 2. Charlie Ward's all over the place. BitChute, YouTube. He's just got an open door.
So what sort of claims is Simon Parks making? So let's have a look at this one that was made just a couple of days ago.
I just got off the phone with Daniel Dowell, and he got direct intel that on the less than 5 hours, Executive Order 13959.
Now listen carefully, because she said in less than, what did she say, 5 hours? Let me see.
That on the less than 5 hours.
Okay, under less than 5 hours, this executive order is going to take place. But I want to show you the timing of this, because you can see it pretty clearly. This video was uploaded 8 hours ago. This video that we're watching right now was uploaded 8 hours ago. Listen to her claim 8 hours ago.
Executive Order 13959 is going to go into effect. And if you look on Wikipedia right now, you can see the list of companies that are going to be taken down by the US.
And this is true. You can do this. You can do it. I've already done it. I'm not going to go over it because it's not. I don't know how you would verify that some of these. What does she mean by got taken down? What does that mean? They go out of business. They can no longer operate on the internet. What is she talking about?
This executive order says prohibiting investment in communist Chinese military companies, which basically means a declaration of war. What I heard is that Parlay is already down, and that in a couple of hours, all the big media channels will going to go down as well.
In a couple of hours, all the big media channels are going to go down as well. That was 8 hours ago. If the media channels don't go down by the end of this day, what they have all done is they've discredited themselves. When you start discrediting yourself and you sprinkle a little bit of truth in there, you basically work to malign the truth, the exact opposite of what truth tellers are trying to do. Now, does that mean some of us aren't going to get it wrong sometime? No, it absolutely does not. But if you get it wrong, then you say, hey, you know what? I got this wrong. I made this prediction. It didn't come true. Yeah, bad on me. I should not have done that. It looks really bad. And a lot of people won't forgive that. It's like, I'll never listen to you again. That's not the case on this. These people are going hyper viral. I've already showed you this Simon Parks has already made the claim that Donald Trump will continue to be the president for the next 4 years. If that doesn't happen, he's completely discredited himself and whatever truth community he claims to represent.
Couple of hours, all the big media channels will going to go down as well.
All the big media channels are going to go down. These are, guys, when they make these claims, these claims, the words mean something. Words have meaning. And when you make a broad brush claim like that and you put it out there like Alex Jones does and starts maligning, even though they mix a little bit of the truth, Alex Jones tells truth. But what the PSYOP is, the psychological operation, the reason it's COINTELPRO is because they take that truth and they pin it to somebody like an Alex Jones or pin it to somebody like a Simon Parks.
And with this executive order, the declaration of war is going to be taking place. So massive news.
Yeah, massive news is a declaration of war is going to be taking place and all mainstream media outlets are going down in the next couple hours, along with this executive order. What would you say, 11393 or 939?
And what I hear...
Look at them nodding their heads.
Thing, Simon?
Yes, but I thought it was going to happen on Wednesday.
So did we? Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yes.
Tuesday, Wednesday, yes. But yes, it's been taken up to now.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
I would imagine they've started the process earlier because the Chinese will have got wind of it, and we know what they're like when they get wind of things. They try and change the dynamics and everything else that goes with it.
Okay, so these claims were made Monday, the 11th of January, and they were saying that all of the mainstream media outlets will go down by Tuesday, Wednesday the 13th of January at the latest. So even now, as I speak, as this video goes out Thursday evening, I've just checked and all mainstream media channels are still running. That hasn't happened. So already they've discredited themselves with this claim. Now, the thing is as High Impact Flicks says earlier in the video, I'm sure that's not going to deter lots of their subscribers. These words have meaning, as he said, but still, I'm sure many people will carry on following, even though these claims have not come true. Now, my question is, how many more of their claims that don't come true, if they don't come true, will people keep following them after nothing materialises? But already discredit themselves. So it's Thursday the 14th of January now in the evening in the UK, and all mainstream media is still running live. And it makes me wonder if, Simon Parks is saying that Trump is still going to be in office for 4 more years come inauguration. Let's see if that happens. If that doesn't happen, and I hate to be negative for all those patriots out there, but if it doesn't happen, are people still going to be following the likes of Simon Parks and Charlie Ward?
And what is it about sweaters? What is it about old guys in sweaters? This guy looks like a nice grandfather that you can trust with any member of your family. What is it about putting a sweater on a person and sitting him in front of a computer screen or in front of a camera and having him talking to that camera and a whole bunch of people just suspending their critical thinking and trusting the guy in the sweater? That's what they do with Bill Gates. Hey, put on a pastel sweater for Bill Gates. Everybody will trust, and everybody turns their minds off and says, oh my God, eugenicist Bill Gates really wants to save us with that final solution. This is great. So they short circuit in their brains, suspend their critical thinking, stop asking questions, and then start parroting the things that Charlie Ward and Danielle and Simon Parks say. Well, it's confirmed. Trump signed the Insurrection Act. All these companies are going to go belly up at within 5 hours, and all these news media outlets are going to be dark. You're going to turn them on, and they're not going to be there. And so when this doesn't come to pass, guess what? All those millions of people that they accumulated will still be following them because they are now in the cult of personality. They're not teetotaling Kool-Aid sippers. They're chugging this stuff. They're like they're drunken frat boys funneling Kool-Aid. Funneling Simon Parks' Kool-Aid and Charlie Ward's Kool-Aid and Danielle's Kool-Aid and Q's Kool-Aid. It's the Kool-Aid crowd.
I couldn't agree with this more. And we had the same thing. You had the same thing with Charlie Ward. People saying like he's the grandfatherly figure of the the Q movement. And people want to believe him because he seems like such a nice chap. The same thing happened with Greg Hallett. Lots of people were saying, well, he looks such a lovely guy. Just listen to him, such a kind, gentle guy. And then even when I'm sharing videos of him making fun of disabled people, they're still saying, oh yeah, but no, I believe him over you because look at him. He looks like such a gentle king. He's going to be my king. Now, of course, everyone knows from my work and from many other people's work that actually Greg Hallett was dishonest and that he was a fake. He's no king. Now, I'm wondering how long it will take before the same could be said widely about these two granddads.
Do you notice how everybody's getting censored but these guys right here? Why are all these people getting censored? Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people are being kicked off, but these guys, they just open the floodgates of viral views for them. Why is that?
Look at all of these Q accounts that are being blocked, suspended on Twitter, as well as all of the channels that are being taken down on YouTube. Look at them all. Oh, hang on a minute. What?
Your news is hot to me because I was still sitting here thinking, Tuesday, Wednesday, I've got plenty of time just to take it easy. And then when Charlie gave me a ring, and I thought that actually makes sense based on what I said this morning at 1:30.
And what we said last...
Wait a second. How does it make sense again? Because Danielle said it? Because Danielle said she got intel from somebody that she trusts who's in a high level in the military? Really? Is that what you pin your trust on? Guys, that's called cult of personality. That's called turning your mind off and just believing what this guy said because he said it and he's got a nice looking little cozy sweater and he looks like your grandfather. He gained 4,000 subscribers in 10 minutes. You tell me how that works. That sounds like massive favors. This guy is not shadow banned. Why?
Let's have a look more into Simon Parks' background and look at his bio that he's made on himself.
Here's who Simon Parks is in his own words, and this is simonparks.com. Simon Parks is a lifelong experiencer of aliens, shadow people, elementals, and UFOs. These include mantid or mantis beings, draconous, reptilian, feline, small, and gray creatures, crystalline beings, and other creatures that can't be identified. Simon was an elected politician and served a full term of office. So we know he's deeply embedded, not only in this, I don't know what to call it. I've never experienced aliens. Could they exist? Sure. Anything's a possibility. But this is who Alphabet Inc. under Google, under YouTube, is giving free reign on their platform right now. This is, guys, I'm not making this up. I'm giving you this. You can read along. You can read along. This is Simon Parks. This is the guy everybody's following on BitChute and YouTube right now. But wait, there's more. Simon's biological mother worked for the British security. This is Simon writing this. This is his own bio. Simon's biological mother worked for the British Security Service, often called MI5, between 1965 and 1979. That's not good. However, while she was managed by British intelligence like they were her handlers, British intelligence were Simon Parkes' mom's handlers. She was in fact working jointly for the National Security Agency of America. So she was an NSA insider. Her job was to type out documents that related to crashed UFO craft and had come down all over the Earth's surface and had been retrieved by American Special Forces recovery teams. That's this Simon Parkes right here. That's the origin of this Simon Parkes. The Simon Parkes who's going viral as we speak on the internet while everybody else is getting shut down. Everybody else who's out there actually speaking the truth is getting shut down. But wait, there's more. Simon's grandfather, who was a British diplomat, worked for the foreign arm of British intelligence, often called MI6. But again, in his case, he was closely associated with the Central Intelligence Agency. So you got MI5, MI6, you got the NSA, and now the CIA, all in Simon Parkes' family. There's no psychological operations going on here. During Simon's grandfather's time, he was awarded the Order of the British Empire, OBE medal, as well as the Commander of the British Empire, CBE medal. However, he turned down a knighthood from the Queen. He was offered, Simon's grandfather was offered a knighthood from the Queen that allegedly Simon says his grandfather turned down. Simon's grandfather was also a prominent Freemason. It gets deeper, guys, and was Britain's appointed diplomat to the United Nations in the late 1950s and early 19th. You might as well get it all out. He was a part of the Bilderberg Group, the Central Intelligence Agency, NSA. He's got MI5 and MI6 in his family, Freemasonry. Simon went public with his story in 2010, and since then has toured the UK speaking at conferences initially attacked by the establishment media. He was part of the CIA. He was the establishment media. If you remember the church group, the church hearings back in the 1970s, they already established that the CIA, that's why I call it CIA infiltrated Operation Mockingbird MK Ultra media, because that's what they said they were back then. Remember Sig Mickelson, who was the operations director for, what was it, ABC? Said, yeah, we have members of the CIA here. Hopefully the public won't find out about it. When you're a part of the CIA, you're part of the establishment media. At least his grandfather was. It's all running in the family for this guy. And a concerted effort to discredit him. Dude, you're already discrediting yourself by this bio. I'm surprised he even keeps this up. This is crazy. However, at an event in 2013, it was a game changer when Simon was invited to the British Ministry of Defense to a joint small party being given a tour of a secret space radar base in the UK. So he has secret access clearance that none of the rest of us have. This totally confounded the establishment media and has led to a far more serious appraisal of Simon's story by them. Okay, so now the establishment media is taking you serious? First of all, it's suspect that the establishment media was ever against this person because he has deep ties to the CIA and MI5 and MI6 and the NSA. But now he says he has secret clearance to get to places most of the rest of us can't get to. And now he has credibility in the eyes of the same establishment media. In my opinion, this guy couldn't make himself look any worse to the truth community. This is not somebody you want on your side. Everything this guy says is subject. This guy is claiming himself to be a COINTELPRO insider. Simon has assessed a growing number of people who have come forward from Illuminati families and bloodlines where they have suffered torture and trauma from many MILAB situations. Simon is able to reintegrate any alternate personalities that the individual may have, remove any jinn or demonic possession, and deactivate any suicide programs placed in the person. Then they say on a lighter note, Simon also does soul readings. How many Christians follow this guy? Because last I heard, anybody who's involved in this stuff is actually involved in the demonic realm. He does soul readings where in most cases, and I bet there's a lot of Christians, there's a lot of Christians in the Q movement. Look what members of the Q movement or people who carry water for the Q movement are involved in. Where in most cases is able to identify the individual's soul, star, family background. A reasonable fee is charged for these services. Simon is offering a nearly unique service nearly unique. I'm offering you a nearly unique, it's not quite unique, but it's nearly unique. He's offering a nearly unique service and places the highest value on client confidentiality, having helped people from many countries and from widely differing backgrounds, from college students to employees of the Rothschilds. It just keeps on going to the very end. Simon understands the critical nature of his deprogramming, healing, and soul reading work and the support that his clients need. If you would like to help to continue the work of this serious CIA insider, then please donate via PayPal. All donations are greatly appreciated and considered as donations. So there you go. That's who Simon Parkes is, and that's could that be why Simon Parkes is knocking the views out of the park? Could that be why? It sounds like he's got some serious, strong ties to what people call the Illuminati.
Many worrying things in that bio, but it reminds me of Charlie Ward. Charlie Ward professes to have moved money around for the elite. He professes to have brokered oil deals. His background in a cult, the same cult that Aleister Crowley is from. He says that he's had access to DUMBs, deep underground military bases. Charlie Ward also says that he was in charge of security of all prisons in the UK. Not to mention his best friend Jack Kidd. Now, Jack Kidd has links to Ghislaine Maxwell through his sister, the Rothschilds, and even Charlie Ward has said when I interviewed Charlie Ward and I asked him about pictures of Jack Kidd with Nathan de Rothschild, he then disclosed that, well, Jack Kidd is connected to the royal family. Jack Kidd's grandfather was Lord Beaverbrook, who owned multiple of Britain's mainstream newspapers. Lord Beaverbrook was also Winston Churchill's Minister of Propaganda during World War II. I mean, these guys are the establishment, and it is very worrying that these two gentlemen both have very dodgy connections and very dodgy backgrounds. Now, what's really fishy is after High Impact Flicks made that video and showed his bio, now Simon Parkes has gone back into that bio and edited it. Take a look at this.
Because this was, not is, but was on his website, and he has since modified it since I did my video. Why? Why, Simon, did you disable your comments under BitChute? Why aren't you letting people just talk? And why did you modify your website when it's been like this for God knows how long? He says there's small and gray creatures, crystalline beings, and other creatures that can't be identified. Simon was an elected politician and served a full term of office. Talks about his mother being a part of MI5, his grandfather being part of MI6 and the CIA. His mom ended up landing at the National Security Agency. All these agencies are your enemy. But look what he's done. Here's his new modified simonparkes.org. Notice you don't have this first part right here anymore. Doesn't say Simon Parkes is a lifelong experiencer of aliens. It says Simon grew up in a family that had links to British and American intelligence. That's bad enough. Simon's mother worked for MI5. However, while she was managed by MI5, she was in reality working for the NSA. That doesn't make it any better. Working for MI5 or MI6 or the NSA or the CIA, they're all your enemy. She was an employee of the enemy of individuals. Simon's grandfather was employed by the Secret Intelligence Service, better known as MI6. In reality, he was reporting to the CIA. That's bad. Does that mean he's a double agent? Simon's grandfather was also a British diplomat holding the position of vice consul and then consul of the British embassy in this place in India. In 1936, he was one of the wise men of 12, or called the jury of 12, who voted on the question regarding King Edward VIII and if the king should be removed, regarding special branches uncovering the people that you can't talk about plot to infiltrate the king. But he removed all the alien stuff, at least I think. He does talk about his mom being a part of, this, during this period and before and after. Simon had UFO experiences himself. I don't see any other details about it, but nothing about draconius reptilian people or feline, small and gray creatures, nothing about that. So he wiped that.
Really don't respect the little greys because I've It's just been your experience, your teaching.
With it. Yes, exactly.
So what is then, do you think, your overall job to do here?
Well, I don't know here. I mean, I operate machines for them, machines they can't operate when I'm in their world.
Why can't they operate them?
That I don't know. These are machines that operate a portal.
Okay.
So I put my 2 hands onto a plate, and then a circular, 2 triangular rods come down like that, and then it's like a portal, and it will bring things through. So there was one creature that I had to transport through, and I hate him, and I don't know why they've asked me to do it. I've got a situation with him where I've seen him before, and he's not very pleasant. And he comes through, and he just gives me a real, I find the drawing, a real nasty look. He's got red eyes.
Not this.
No, that's a reptile. No, it'll be in the other drawing.
Right, okay.
And he's got red, like glowing coal eyes. And then I just escort him, and he makes a presentation in a small, like, auditorium to maybe 15 or 20 extraterrestrials. And then he comes away, and I just operate the portal, and off he goes again. So that's a machine that I understand only I can operate, or a human can operate, not just me. Humans operate this machine. But the other one I talk about was the reptile, which I refer to as Daddy. And this is the reptile that chucked us out of Eden all that time ago. And this is 1966. I know that because I can date it, because I make reference to a television advert in the memory. And I'm collected by a creature, this one here, and passed on to another creature. And as we approach, we're underground, we're under a cave, it's really hot. And the creature that I'm with says, "Do you see this great lord approaching you? Do you know who that is?" And I say, "Yes, of course, that's Daddy." And he says, "Then go and greet him." But this creature actually gets down on and prostrates himself absolutely flat to this one and says, "I have brought the one, my lord." And then I go up to him and say, "Hello, Daddy." And he says to me, "You who call me father." And it sounds really awful, because it's like, oh my God, he's going to turn on me. And he says, "For you are my son. I created you. I made you," is the word he uses. And I say, "Are you happy, Daddy?" And he says, "I am pleased." And I say, "It's really hot here." And he says, "I go into a tank and I come out and I'm really cool." And he says, "The effects of this will last many hours." And I say to him, "Will you hold my hand, Daddy, although it's very cool?" He says, "Yeah, I can hold your hand," because I know he's hot. And if he doesn't like cold, and if so, he's fine, he holds my hand. It's very unpleasant, this bit, I will tell you. And again, I go into a room, and it's a dentist's chair, and it's a circular room. And I say, "Who commands here?" And he says, "Whoever sits in the chair." "Would you like to command?" "Oh, yes, please," because I'm only little and I'm very polite in those days. So I get in the chair. And
so just remind us, what sort of age?
I'll be about 6 years old, 6 or 7. Yeah, no older.
Well, this sounds very like the trip seat or the Montauk chair, which would imply, is this some kind of hypnagogic dream state you've been induced into dreaming?
Well, I'll tell you.
I mean, it's very similar.
I can bring up images in my mind. That's what happens. And he says to me, "What would you like?" Just says to me, "What would you like?" And I say, "What can I have?" And he says, "What about a pretty young female?" So I say, "Oh, yes, please. Can I have a pretty young female like Prickles?" That's the nickname. That's the one that come to get me. She's a lion person, but she's a reptilian lion. She says to me when she arrives, "I am a servant of the reptile race." And her name is Zuka La La La. That's her name, Zuka La La La. That's her real name. The Zuga is her original lion name, but when she defected to the reptile race, they added the La 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 to it. So her name incorporates the fact that she has been subverted from one race to another. And this isn't her body. This is just a costume. This isn't part of her body. It's just, but it's to represent the wings of a Alpha Draconis, of a reptile. And this is just a mask that she wears over her face. It's just a mask. So she could take all that off. It's just like a uniform. So I'm on this chair, and he's offered me this pretty young female, and I say, "Can I have her, or can I have?" This is really funny. "Or can I have the woman on the Fry's Turkish Delight advert that's on television?" And he says,
as a 6-year-old boy.
Yes, yeah. And he says to me, "Think of her and she is yours." So I imagine her, and there she is. And she's there with a veil and everything. She's sitting on me. And without being too crude, he says, "Do you know what to do with her?" And I say, "No." He says, "Well, I'll enter your mind and show you what to do." So without going to horrific detail, have sex with her. It's not real, it's all holographic.
At 6 years old?
Yes. And he is instructing me how to have sex. And he says, the woman, it's awful this, isn't it? The man is there to take, the woman is there to give. And he says, the only reason that woman is put on the earth is to serve and to make replacements. Well, that's the word he uses, make replacements. And then, when we've had sex, he says, now father and son have shared a female. He said, would you like to eat her?
Would you knowingly follow a guy who believes his mother is a 9-foot-tall green alien with 8 fingers? Don't!
On Christmas Day, 25th of December, intelligence, American intelligence, the good guys, not the bad guys, American intelligence received irrefutable evidence that the Italian government had a few satellites which were ostensibly run by the Italian government and the Italian military, but were really leased or given to the Vatican. Now, the Vatican named these satellites after Leonardo da Vinci. Now, the Vatican named these satellites after Leonardo da Vinci.
Our survey said.
So these satellites are not spy satellites, they are encryption communication satellites. And for all intents and purposes, they come under the secret military of the Italian government, but they are totally controlled by the Vatican. When it was realized that it was the Vatican who was behind all of the main players and of the election fraud, the game had to change. The whole problem on Christmas Day was the understanding that the Italian government, using a number of satellites named after Leonardo da Vinci, but were leased or are leased to the Vatican. So in other words, they come under the umbrella of Italy, but they're really run by the Vatican. And I know that Trump then went to Texas to one of the command posts, and I can tell you that, what time is it now? 5 o'clock our time. For the last 5 or 6 hours, there has been an incommunicado meeting in that base to decide what's going to happen.
There's good division. So when people are saying, man, you're just causing division when you're talking about Simon Parks, he's just trying to do the right thing. Guys, when you're spreading misinformation, disinformation, and just outright lies, you're not doing the truth community any good. As a matter of fact, you become the very cancer you claim to be against. Just like congressmen and congresswomen and law enforcers, they take that oath to protect and serve the American people and to uphold and protect and defend the Constitution of the United States, and then they turn right around and become that domestic enemy that they claim to protect you from. It's no different with this Simon Parks guy. This is the person who's going viral. This is the guy who's blowing it up on BitChute and on YouTube. And yes, he got, supposedly he got a community guideline strike today, which was his first warning. If he gets another one, he can't upload on YouTube for 7 days. But that's expected. See, what happens in the psychological operation is they'll set something up and let this guy go. I mean, this guy's gone hyper viral. Guys, he got 8.1 million views yesterday. You can see that on Social Blade. Social Blade. If you wanted to put it in a nutshell, there's going to be martial law, mass arrests, and they're calling for martial law, overwhelming military presence, mass communication blackouts. Mainstream media will be gone, and they set the date with the day before yesterday. Deep state traitors and pedos will be jailed. All the demon rats will flee. Guantanamo Bay will be filled. And all this is going to happen in the next 2 or 3 days. And that was 2 days ago. Where are all the arrests? Where are they? Oh, that's right. Just wait. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Hold on. Let more of your rights deteriorate. Let tyranny take a greater, a more firm foothold. Just wait. That's Q's mantra. Look, I know your rights are being eroded. Don't worry. So you can call me, oh, you're just jealous because he's got views and you don't. Come on. This is about information. The first casualty in any war is truth. And that's what these guys have done, is they've taken truth and they've submerged it in the bathtub of their own delusion. And it should make us all sick and infuriated.
So I know this all too well. I've got these messages. You're just jealous. Why are you working for the dark side? These people are just trying to get out the truth. As this man has just said, it's not working for the light if it's disinformation. And it's important that these people get exposed for doing so, that they are making money. They are opportunists, jumping on the back, riding the wave of what's going on, and lots of people are literally jumping in and following them and falling for this, and to their own detriment. You know, they think that they're getting the insider information, and actually they are being fooled by con artists. Let's not beat around the bush. Con artists. Now, what if this is a psyop, and what if these two guys have been drip fed information and have been let to continue to disseminate information when everyone else is being closed down, people that could be credible? What if this is a psyop to completely discredit the Q movement or the truth movement, you know, on the whole, but it's especially the Q movement? I mean, look at it. I mean, the amount of information I've given you on these guys' backgrounds, you know, especially with Simon Parkes, when you look at that, when people from the outside look at that, does he seem like a credible source? Well, no. Anyone looking from the outside in would tell you this guy seems absolutely nuts. I mean, so my question is whether these guys are intentionally being let to continue to distribute this information to discredit the Q movement, or even the truther movement, more importantly. I mean, I pointed out the other day that that Charlie Ward was going on about these cufflinks that he got from Donald Trump with a signature on the back. You can't get them anywhere. They have to be gifted. Although, as I'd reported on, I found them on eBay for a couple of $100 or less. You know, why are they letting these two guys go viral when everyone else is being closed down? Even Charlie Ward and Jack Kidd, who I mentioned earlier, they were recently mentioned in the Daily Mail. And I'll quickly show you a bit of that now. So, you know, why are these guys in the mainstream media? Why are these guys in the spotlight? I wonder whether that's because they are put there on purpose, because they are COINTEL agents, or they are disinformation agents. They are there because when everyone gets blocked in the you know, and discontinued on the Q platform, right? Everyone gets discontinued on the Q movement, except from these two guys. They become the mouthpiece for the movement. You know, if they're controlled opposition, you know, then everything's leaking through them. They can this whole narrative can be steered through these guys. And it makes you wonder if they are giving disinformation when they're saying, oh, this is going to happen. The mainstream media is going to go down, right? It makes you wonder how they're going to interact with that when their claims don't come true. So the mainstream media's not gone down, so I wonder what they're going to say now, okay? And I wonder what they're going to say if Donald Trump doesn't retain his presidency come Inauguration Day. You know, 20th of January. If that doesn't happen, they said it would happen, what are they going to say next? Some people have said if that happens, they're going to disappear. I don't think they will. They're going to change the story. You watch. Mark my words now. If that happens, you watch them change their story. Oh, well, the Chinese. Oh, well, this happened. And so they had to change the date. You know, Simon Parkes would say well, they won't change the timeline in a clip I'm about to show you. They won't change the timeline. But, however, you're giving us these timelines. They're not coming true. And you went back to your source and they said they're not going to change the timelines for people that want things to happen. I would say you're an opportunist and you are just making as much lemonade as you can out of any rotten lemons you get given. The moral of the story is, and as I've always said, be careful who you follow.
It's the 13th. But before I go on to the update, I have to say to you that I won't be doing the update here on YouTube. And if you are watching on YouTube, come and find me on BitChute. I'll be posting on BitChute because I got a warning from YouTube saying that, you know, they didn't like the content of my last few posts and that, you know, they're going to deplatform me, etc., etc.
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
So that would be really good. Hello, right, hopefully you found me on BitChute and I wanted to give you an update. Had to be very careful on the YouTube one. They have sent me a warning, going to be deplatformed. Right, now then, so many people were expecting the speech that President Trump gave at the Alamo at the wall to be, you know, the rallying call. We are going to send the tanks in. We're going to take this person down, take that person down. Right, I spoke to some of my contacts last night, and I said, your people, that's the American people, your people are getting very restless. They want some action. They're not actually necessarily want to see tanks on the streets, but some people do. But they want to have the news that some of the mainstream media has been taken down, that some of the key names have been charged or arrested, that, you know, that there is real in-your-face action. Now, what I got back was very interesting, which was that we can't afford to change the timetable. The messages I got were, we're not going to change the timetable to suit what people want. Look, just because the president mentions the B name, Mr. Biden, or anything else, it doesn't mean that he's, you know, how many more times has President Trump got to say, I don't concede? It's a week to go. It's a week to go. And, you know, we are looking at these two scenarios. My favorite scenario is the president, that's Mr. Trump, being resat for 4 years in a swearing in on the 20th in the White House. That is my preferred option. I can only report to you what I am given. I'm not a researcher. I'm not a researcher. I'm not a researcher. I meet people. I don't have a secure link my side, but the other side has a secure link. And I get information from different sources. Hello. I get information from different sources, and that I can then pass on to you. And my cats certainly don't sleep very much, so hello, bat, doesn't he? Or bear. His name is actually Stormbjorn, Big Bear, so it does look like a bear. Go and say hello. It looks a bit like a bear, hence his name. So we're working hard. So if you go to simonparks.org, you'll see a donate button. I'll be very grateful. I'll be very grateful.
Oh, shut up, you cunt!